Hello, everyone. I hope that you are doing amazing. Once again, Monday, kickoff of the week. I hope that everyone is first safe with everything that's going on right now. And if you are in a tough situation, just please keep being safe. And now, the things that I'm going to talk about today is related to cloud code. I'm going to also talk about the new release of Gemini 3. And I'm going to talk about one experience that I had last week while I was pitching agentic users in front of a group of people. Um, Okay, let's get going. The first thing is yes, I had the amazing opportunity to present at a space that Toronto AI organization that I follow and I participate kind of frequently into their events. They allowed me to present in front of seed investors and other entrepreneurs. And the thing that I want to share there is that every time that I had the opportunity to communicate what is the idea of agentic users, it helps me a lot to refine the things that I want to say during this type of presentation, but also to think about the real responses of the people that is there, so their reactions. Mostly their questions. So their follow-up questions highlight to me what are the things that they actually are interested on. So, for example, on this page, most of the questions related to agentic users were for the business, like B2B section of the business, and focused on security. And here's why. Agentic users, one of the main things that allows you to do is to generate identities for your agents. So you are able to create an agent with an email address. And the idea is that you add these agents into email threads on your company or outbound, inbound, and more. And then you use the managers that manage those agents to understand what is going on those conversations. And afterwards, you generate the generation content like audio overviews and those things that I'm working on. But while I was presenting that feature, which is the main feature and the one that actually it got most of the positive reactions during my pitch, they asked about security because basically I'm just asking them to like, hey, add an external user to all your communications within your company, and that is a huge thing about security, like basically exposing conversations. And currently on the platform, yes, I am following the best practices that I know of separating user information across the platform. So at any moment, non-information, it is combined in the same section of the database and more. But still, those conversations are processed by my system and also processed by the LLM providers that I'm using. So they ask a lot about how I plan to solve that. And so far, I've been doing research and I've been thinking about how am I going to be able to, in some way, encrypt this information so not even myself can read it, and also in some way do not save them, like these conversations for the long run. But still, it is a hard question, and here's what I'm thinking about. We are used to now, or at least I am used to share a lot of the information with the LLMs. And I know companies now are getting more comfortable on implementing solutions with AI that actually follow or help them to write responses on their ongoing conversations. So my thing is like, yes, we are already providing this type of access to the LLMs about company information, because for when you are using the paid version of the LLM APIs or services, they are not using this information to train the models, but still is being processed there. So I wonder how companies will consider this aspect of security, because you are sending the information, it is not being used for training, but still is being processed by the LLM at a kind of data center that is not within the company kind of ownership. I think overall, this would be a case where I have to be certified by some kind of security organization like SOC 2 or something like that to gather and gain the trust of enterprise clients. But so far, besides that, I think we are going to be sending information to the LLMs. I am thinking if I should create some kind of unhosted, like hosted on my servers, LLMs to solve this. But the same way, like at the end, I'm going to process that information on my server, which is similar to just sending it to the LLM. So yeah, that was a tough question, but I really appreciate anyone that kind of shared some of their knowledge during my presentation. And first, again, thank Toronto AI to uh, allow me to present. Okay, so that was the first thing. And besides simply thinking about afterwards all the questions that people said to me, I liked a lot being present while other entrepreneurs were pitching their startup, because some of them already had investment, some of them were early stages than me. But overall, it is very cool first, and then very useful to see how other pitch, because you learned on how to better organize your pitch deck, but you also learn about tone. You also learn about the things that they will ask you if you are in another stage of development. Like if you already have a seed fund, what are the questions that they will ask you? So all those things were very good, very good to hear, and I keep note about everything. And also, if someone from that kind of pitch batch it is watching this, congrats. All of you did amazing. Now, let's talk about Cloud Code or Cloud Code. Um, Cloud Code for me at the start was just a coding agent, but right now I'm using it for everything. I am using it to actually manage my work as a project management, yeah, like a project manager. I have configured it to have kind of read access to a lot of the organization. I am also now kind of building on top of Cloud Code, like all these documentation, all these folders, all these kind of follow-ups that I need to do. I basically work together with Cloud Code to do my work better. And so far it's been amazing. Like I have to say, like the type of messages that I usually write, or I speak a lot, like I use dictation tools. I use Willow Voice, which is amazing, but now combined with Cloud Code is like I send something and now it's going to be replicated on my next kind of messages, because I am basically creating new pipelines, like processes on the go. Because before I needed to kind of code a script, like I'm going to program a script that they will go and then process the information and send a message in X amount of like X way, X Y way. But now it's like the first time I send that message, I just ask Claude like, hey, on the task folder that I have for this specific project, this is the way that I structure messages based on my previous conversations. Like just learn how I'm sending these messages. And after that, instead of me going and actually write an automation, I'm just asking like, hey, we have a new development, just could you please set it up? And it sets up like our information, our management systems. It sets up like Slack threads. It sets up follow-ups that I scheduled on my computer, like on my system. So next week when I ask like, hey, it is Tuesday, March, I think 10th, what are the follow-ups that I have to today? It already knows, and it helps me to never forget anything. So it's very cool to see how now these coding agents are actually impacting my work outside coding. And I really see how other users will and are doing this. And I think it's just a matter of time where when more people will get used to this, and outside tech people will start doing this type of work. Because at the end, I think we all need to adapt, and we all need to be comfortable with coding tools in some way, like understanding how a computer works more than just navigating the browser, because it is a game changer on productivity overall. And organization. I think we humans are very good at doing tasks, but it is always an extra step of keeping up with documentation, keeping up everything um organized in a lot of ways. So before that was kind of a good part of my day, and now it's being basically handled by Claude. When I ask to do something, it also already coded or define that it needs to update the documentations that we have. So it's very cool. It's very cool, and if you are in an industry where most of your work is digital, this is something that I suggest you pay attention to. And yeah, my recommendation for that is invest on Cloud MD, invest on really thinking upfront on how you are going to organize your file system and what are the things that are going to be shared across projects, because there is no need for always having like all your MCPs available to Cloud. Really no need. There's also no need of having like your skills across your all projects available at all time, which is not the big kind of bad thing just to have there the skills specifically, but also let's be organized on the things that we need to, and then Cloud will do all the rest. Amazing. Now, next thing is Gemini 3.1. It is now like available, and overall I think it is better than the three version that they provided, and mostly because now they benefit similar to the big benefit they got from the three flash model, like post training. Now the Gemini 3.1 has that, and it's very good. But the thing that I want to show you now is how amazing is with image generation. Like the text quality on image generation from Gemini 3.1, like Nano Banana 2, it is impressive. Also, the quality of like humans, it is wow. So now you see here, I was planning on what to share during this presentation. So I asked him like, hey, uh, generate an image of a broadcasting thing, and look at this. The quality of text, like there is no, I probably make more misspellings if I write this myself. It is simply amazing the way that it understands, and actually, wow, like look at this. These people looks so real. And then, since I didn't want to have anything like humans, I just asked it to remove it. And here's the thing, it preserves everything, and it just removes the humans. Now I see, actually, for example, here's something that I just realized. Since it's taking the image that it already generated, but removing the humans, it is making a few mistakes, because, for example, here the floor seems off. But besides that, wow. And I see that this is one of the main things that Gemini 2.1, like Nana Banana 2, it is able to do. It's able to modify images that were previously generated, or an image that you're sending, remove something, uh, enhance something without actually kind of messing up with the rest of the image. So huge thing for any editor or movie, I don't know, but this specifically, it is getting so good. And for agentic user, it's amazing because since I'm working on the generation parts of the platform, now I'm going to be able to generate better animations, better images, that then I don't have to worry about a lot if the text it is wrong based on on comparison with what I sent on the prompt. So yeah, very cool stuff. And I think now we are on time, 50 minutes in to the Monday kickoff. Let's try to keep it 15 minutes. Let's make it agile. And I hope that everyone has an amazing week and that we keep with all these developments. And again, be safe if you are in an area where all these things are happening. Thank you, everyone.